What's up, guys? Welcome back to Disc Golf Weekly, and this week I've got an updated What's in My Bag video. I just did one of these not that long ago. I think I did it right around Christmas time, but I've been getting a lot of people asking me questions. What do I throw for this shot? What would you recommend for this? Sort of stuff like that, so I figured I'd do an updated one for the 2014 season. Hopefully that'll answer your guys' questions, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Just in case anyone was wondering, I just carry an Innova competition bag with the Dynamic Discs backpack straps. Nothing too special. Works for me. I like it. So we'll get right into the discs. Starting off, we'll start with putters. I only carry one mold of putter, but I carry it in 3 different plastics, and that is the Latitude 64 Pure. I've got one Opto Pure, one Soft Pure, and then my 2 putting pures. I have 2 medium pures. They've got a real nice rainbow party time. I don't even know what stamp that is, but they look really nice. I've got, this is my main putter, and then this is my backup. I just wrote B on there for backup. Both the exact same weight, exact same plastic. Everything's the same. I like a softer putter, but with it being the summer and it's warmer and stuff now, the Zero Soft plastic is too soft for me, and the medium is a little bit firmer than I like, but when it's out in the sun all day and it's in the heat, it does soften up a little bit, and it's right where I like it. So once it gets back into the colder months, I'll probably go back to soft pures, but for right now, I'm using the mediums. I'm really digging these things, really nice and straight. Now onto my throwing pures. Like I said earlier, I've got one Opto and one Soft. This soft one's really nice. I really like this one. Nice and swirly, gray with some black swirls on there. I really like this one. This one, obviously, I throw it for upshots when I want to hit near the basket and just stop. I don't want it to roll away. I don't want it to skip or anything like that. I just want it to hit and sit. That's what I like this one for. And then the Opto is basically my driving putter. I could shape any line with this thing. If I want it to go straight, just throw it flat. If I want a hyzer, I'll throw it with hyzer. If I want a nice turnover, just throw it with an anhyzer release. I really like this disc. This is probably the most point and shoot disc I've ever thrown. It goes exactly where I want it to. It goes exactly where I throw it. I know if something goes wrong, obviously it was my fault, but I mean, let's be real, I never have a bad shot. Or at least I like to think I don't. But yeah, I really like this one. Really great disc. Check one out if you haven't. The Opto Pure is one of my favorite discs right now. My tweener discs, everyone who's seen any of my other in the bags is going to know exactly what this is, and that's the Suspect. I've got a Fusion and a Lucid. This Lucid is one of the puddle top ones almost. It's a little concave. It's super overstable, and then this Fusion one is a little bit more broken in, so I can throw it. If I just throw it flat, it just goes straight. And this one just fades out a little bit earlier. Depends if there's a little bit more wind, I'll pull out the Lucid, or if I need a little bit more distance, then I'll pull out the Fusion. Onto mid-ranges. I carry 5 mid-ranges, 3 different molds. First, my most understable is a very broken in Mako 3. It's pretty flat. This was from the very first day they released it on the Pro Shop. I picked this one up. It's an old factory second. This one, I can throw it with hyzer. It'll flip, fly dead straight, and then it'll fade to the right at the end. I really like this thing. If I need a really nice long turnover, I'll pull this guy out. This is it's definitely, it used to be one of my workhorse mid-ranges. It's pretty broken in now, like I said, pretty understable, but it holds a really nice line. Now onto the rocks. I carry 3 rocks, and they're actually 3 totally different rocks. I have one DX rock. This one's pretty fresh. Still kind of working on breaking this thing in. This is going to become my understable rock, but it's pretty new. I just got it a couple weeks ago, so it's still pretty overstable. And then next up is a flat top glow CFR KC blah 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 rock. This is actually, if you saw the Ace video that I posted just a while ago from the course up in Harvard, that was this disc where I got the back-to-back aces. That was this one. Really nice and straight disc. It's a little bit broken in. It used to be really overstable. Now it's just nice and straight. I can throw it with a little hyzer, flips, and just goes laser beam straight. I'm going to break this one in a little bit more, hopefully, and get it so I can flip it up and then I get some turn with it. But I really like this disc. Really, really nice rock. And the last one, just a Rock 3. Standard Rock 3, nothing special about it. Throw it flat, goes straight, has a good strong fade at the end, fights the wind really well. Not much to be said really about the Rock 3 that people don't already know. It's a fantastic disc. I absolutely love it. This is my go-to mid-range. If I'm not really sure what to throw for anything inside like 325, I'll pull this guy out. My last mid-range, just for really strong hyzers, really good stiff winds, just a glow gator. It's got a really big dome to it. I don't really like that too much, but really overstable, big spike hyzers, just laughs at wind. Not really much to say about a gator other than it just dumps left every time. For fairway drivers, I again carry 5 fairway drivers. The most understable fairway driver I carry is really only for rollers. That's all I really throw it for. And it's a VIP Underworld from Westside. This thing's really understable. It's a little bit broken in, but it's even more understable than like a Sidewinder or a Roadrunner, stuff like that. I really only throw this for rollers. Maybe if there's a really strong tailwind, but this one doesn't come out too much. Next step up in stability is actually the disc that's been in my bag the longest. That's Champion TL. This is 168 grams. This one flies exactly like my Mako, but probably another 25, 30, 40 feet farther. I could throw it with hyzer, it'll flip, just go dead straight, and then fade to the right at the end. So if I want to throw the Mako, or if I want to throw that kind of a shot, but I need more distance, I'll pull this guy out. Now for my go-to fairway drivers, again, pretty standard, just Champion Eagles. I like the opaque, milky, whatever Champion one's kind of hard to see through. I don't know, they seem to be a little bit more overstable out the box for me. This one's 172 grams, this is 175. This one, if I just throw it flat, it goes dead straight with a good strong fade. This one I can get some turn with, so it really depends on what the shot is. If I need a little bit more glide, I'll pull out the more broken in, lighter weight one. Or if there's a headwind and I need some more fade at the end or something, I'll pull out this guy. And the last fairway driver I carry is just for wind or whenever I need a big skip shot or, you know, really big hyzers or something. It's a Glow Firebird. This is from the flat top Firebird. Just stupid overstable. I probably, you know, don't need this disc to be this overstable, but it's nuts. I can throw this thing full power, flat, and it just immediately starts going left and gets a nice big skip. Really nice for big spike hyzers, and then this is also my forehand disc, because my forehand isn't great, so it covers up a lot of the flaws and form issues that I have with forehand. Now for distance drivers, right now I carry 7 distance drivers, which is a lot, but that's kind of because I'm trying out some new stuff and just seeing if there's something that I like better. So this is kind of the only part of my bag that's not really set in stone right now. It's going to be one of these discs, but I'm just not sure which one yet. That is going to be my go-to. So my first one is it's a pre-flight numbers, really old, really flat, beat-up Orc. This thing, I used to have an Escape in the bag, but me and Escapes just don't get along, and this thing basically flies exactly like the Escape. I can throw it with hyzer, it'll flip, get some turn, and come back at the end. Really nice distance, really fast. The Orc is probably, if you ask me at least, the most underrated disc on the market. I don't really see many people throwing them. I'm not really sure why. They're kind of in a weird spot between, you know, Eagles and T-Birds and then your max distance drivers, where not many people have a disc like that in their bag. But I really think that the Orc is it's really useful, and there's definitely a spot for it in my bag. For understable max distance shots, I use the Westside Sorcerer in VIP plastic. This is the one I did the review on. If you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. This is probably the farthest flying disc in my bag, but it is pretty new to me. I'm still kind of getting used to it and figuring out how it flies. But if there's ever a tailwind or if I need a big long turnover, I'll pull this guy out for sure. My old go-to, old reliable, still throwing it a lot, but I'm just seeing if there's something I like better. That's the Star Destroyer. Avery Jenkins stamp, not too much to be said about these. Everyone kind of knows them. Nice and overstable, handles wind really well. Some pretty good glide. You can get some really nice distance with these things. Next disc is something I've just been trying out, but I've been having some pretty good success with it, and I'm really liking it. So it might be my new go-to distance driver, and that is the Discmania DD Hysteria. I got these things both out of the used bin at my local shop. I saw them come in, and they're in pretty good shape, so I figured, what the heck, I'll give them a try. They feel really nice in my hand. They feel a little bit better than Destroyers. The rim isn't nearly as thick as a Destroyer. It's just about the same stability, so I'm thinking these might kick the Destroyers out just because it feels a little bit better in the hand. I do have one P line, and this is S line, just kind of worked out by chance, but I'm really liking these things. These are really nice. My next step up in stability is going to be the Giant. This is a tournament Giant. I got this one in Kansas when I was there for the Glass Blown Open. It's really flat. It's got a nice U.S. flag, double stamp, something. But I really like these things. It's like an overstable Destroyer. It's not pop-top overstable Destroyer. Really nice in a pretty moderate headwind. You can throw it flat and get some turn out of it, but it always comes back. It never flips over. And some sneaky distance, too, for how overstable it is. It'll go really far for me, which I like. Speaking of pop-top Star Destroyers, that is my final disc. It's 175 grams. It's like the Firebird, just dumb overstable. Whenever there's a really strong headwind, or if I need a big long hyzer shot, something that I want to skip at the end, I'll pull this thing out. This is the only other disc aside from that Firebird that I'll forehand, just because it goes a little bit farther than the Firebird, and it's just about as the same stability. Alright guys, that's my bag. Hopefully for any of you guys that have been asking me what I would recommend for certain shots or what I throw for a certain shot, hopefully that answers your questions. If not, always leave a comment down below if you want to see a review or anything of any of those discs that I just talked about. Leave it down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next week, go get out and throw.